Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Straight Outta Cloyne YouTube channel with me, your host, of course, Joseph Turl. Haven't done that intro for a while. There's a bit of a throwback to any of you who used to listen to the podcast. But today we are here to discuss the first three teams, or the only three teams, the three teams we will be using in FC25 career mode. I've been dropping a few hints and teasers as to who we'll be using for the first team, and let's just say the jersey probably gives it away. It will be, of course, Celtic Football Club. Lads, I cannot tell you how many years I have been wanting to do a career mode with Celtic. And originally, last season was when I wanted to do the first one. Just never got around to it. The only career mode we ever got around to doing on the channel for FC24 was the Oxford United Road to Glory career mode. But don't worry, there will definitely be 3 career modes this time round. But Celtic, obviously, last season had their stadium included in the game for the very first time, that being Celtic Park or Parkhead. This is probably why I didn't do a Celtic career mode for as long as I did. It just never felt quite right without the stadium. Easy for me to say. And now that the stadium is in the game, it just feels a bit more appropriate. Of course, they are the current Scottish champions, the first ever British Champions League winners, or back when it was just known as the European Cup in 1967 with the Lisbon Lions, all the players living within a very close radius to Celtic Park. I don't think that's ever going to be done again, and to be honest with you lads, it's probably not going to happen in this career mode either. But with that said, there is going to be a huge focus on the Champions League for 2 reasons. As I said, Celtic were the first British winners of the Champions League. It's obviously the only time they've ever won it, and since then, multiple English teams have won it. A Scottish team has not quite come close to winning the Champions League in quite some time, and that's why I want this career mode to have a very heavy focus on the European Cup. In the first season, and the first maybe 2 or 3 seasons, there will be that big focus on the league as well, but the more we progress into the career mode, it will have its main focus being on the Champions League. The other reason why I have a big focus on the Champions League is because of how the Oxford career mode ended. Still not over that, but don't worry, we will be back with Oxford United in the very near future. Mark my words, believe you me. But Celtic will be the first team we'll be doing. I don't know how many seasons it will take, but I will say I don't want to do any more than 6 seasons. And I know 6 sounds like a lot, but keep in mind, we should be at a stage by season 4 where we're just running through the Scottish League. I do want to have a big focus on the youth academy as well. Right now I can't go into too much detail as to why that is, but let's just say there's going to be a lot of Irish players being used in the youth academy and a lot of Irish players being brought up from the youth academy because I want to do something in this career mode as well as helping Celtic become the second Scottish Champions League winners after already being the first, as well as continuing their dominance in Scotland. There is a certain feature I want to use in career mode, in this one in particular, that I have never, ever used before. Never mind on the channel, I've never used it at all. And I want that to change in this career mode. So there's going to be a lot of Irish players being brought in. Want to develop them to a stage where they're good enough to play in the first team and then be sold on, because there will be a lot of selling on players in the Celtic career mode, because, listen, players in the Scottish League will eventually want to go on to better leagues, so we'll keep it realistic that way. But, the Irish players developing will be quite important, and you'll see why in the career mode. But with that said, after the Celtic career mode, we will be moving on to another team who has a dear place in my heart. That, of course, being Manchester United. Yes, the team I support in real life will be the second team we will be using in FC25 career mode. Now, this one's going to be slightly different because we are going to be using one of the new features being brought into the game this year, and that is live start points. So I'm sure most of you by now will be aware that in the game this year, you will be able to start a career mode at the real life point that you were in real life. So if you are in January and you want to start a career mode with a certain team at the real life point that you are currently in, you are now able to do that. And that is what we'll be doing with United. We are going to take over the Red Devils at the very beginning of January, halfway through the season. So no matter how we did in the Europa League phase, how we're doing in the league, how we've done in the League Cup, that, excuse me, will be replicated. My apologies. That will be replicated in this career mode. It will be interesting to see how things are by then. Will Eric Ten Hag still be in charge? I hope so. Will we be in a race for the top four? I hope so, and I hope we'll be in a good race for it. And hopefully we will still be in Europe, and hopefully we'll be on a League Cup run as well. And obviously we'll be starting the FA Cup. I do have a more strict timeline for this one. I don't want to do any more than 3 seasons. I feel like 3 seasons with United, with the core squad that they have that we can build on, I think it's more than enough to achieve our main goal, which will be not only to become England's best team again and the top team in Manchester, because we're already the top club in Manchester, but let's replicate that with the team as well, because Manchester is red. But I also want to win the treble. Manchester United were the very first English team to win the treble. For many, many years, we were the only ever English team to do it until recently. But I do want to become the first team to win a second treble. First English team to win a second treble. I don't think we'll need very long to do that. I already have an idea of some of the signings I would like to make. As I said, there's a really good core squad there with United that I feel like, once improved upon, can challenge for all the top trophies. We'll see how that goes in real life, but in the game, I think it is more than achievable. So by season 3, if we haven't won the treble, the season, or the career mode I should say, will end no matter what. But ideally, we want to finish it by winning the treble. And that will be our second career mode that we do on this channel. We did start a United career mode last year on the channel, as you may remember, but it got neglected. I promise you it won't happen this time around. And can I just say, I bloody love this season's kit. I really, really like this. I got it at Old Trafford recently. Got the player version for the very first time. Lovely Premier League badge there. I've got Rasmus Højlund on the back, who then got injured the same day I bought this, as did Lenny Yoro, who I bought on the back of the jersey from my brother. So that was really, really awkward. But anyways, hopefully that won't happen in the career mode, and they'll both be doing really well by the time we start it. But as I said, that will be the second career mode we do on this channel. And then our third and final career mode is one I'm very, very excited about. This is a team I've never used. I will be putting them in a league I've never used. But I still feel like I have just as much a connection with the city of the team we'll be using as I do with the previous 2 teams mentioned. Let's get on to it. This is a very awkward camera angle. I do apologise. But with that said, I want to build up some suspense for this final team. The final team we will be using in FC25 career mode on this channel will be Montreal Impact. I don't have an Impact jersey. I only have the Canadiens jersey, but they're from the same city, even though it's 2 different sports. Just deal with it. I am super excited for this career mode. Now, obviously, Montreal play their football in the MLS, but that's not where we'll be using them. We will be taking the French-Canadian side and putting them in the French 2nd Division and doing a road to glory in France. Words cannot express how excited I am, lads. I love road to glory career modes, especially with teams that are not very good, let's just say. Because, listen, let's be honest, when you go down to the lower divisions, even though the teams aren't going to be as highly rated as Premier League teams or Ligue 1 teams or La Liga teams or Bundesliga teams, Serie A teams, so on and so forth, you do have a few teams that are in better positions than others. Montreal aren't even one of the top teams in the MLS. They're quite poor, to be honest with you. So taking them from that league that, let's be honest, as good as it has gotten over the years, the MLS, is still quite behind when you compare it to some European leagues, and putting them into one of the top European leagues, as much as people want to mock the French league, it is still a very high level to get to. It's going to be a very difficult challenge. There are a few kind of, stipulations I have for the career mode. I'll go into more detail by the time we start the career mode. I think it'll make more sense by then. But let's just say I want to have a huge Canadian and French core in that team. And if those players can be from Montreal, then great. Why Montreal, you may ask? I absolutely adore Montreal. I've got a lot of connections there. A lot of you will have heard me mention Aisling before. She is from Montreal. She is a big inspiration behind this career mode, so I'm going to try and get her input on this as well. But Montreal is a city that I love so much, and it is a place that I would love to call home one day. Obviously, it is a huge French-speaking place as well. French is the first language there, so I think putting them into the French league just makes sense. I am quite nervous about this career mode in a lot of ways because that squad's going to need a hell of a lot of work, but the youth academy is going to be very, very present in it. Obviously, it's going to be present in the Celtic career mode, might be even a little bit present in the United career mode, but I feel like, especially early days, we are going to have to put a huge focus on developing that young Canadian core and that young French core in this career mode, and hopefully building on it from there. I can't wait, lads. I can't wait. I'd love to go into more detail right now, but I want to make sure that I give every career mode its due preview when we start those career modes, but I did want to give you an idea of the teams we will be using in the upcoming game. So lads, if you are excited for these upcoming career modes, please be sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, enable notifications to see when these series start, and please, of course, feel free to leave suggestions for what players you'd like me to sign, what stipulations I should add to career mode, and very excitingly, every single career mode we do on this channel, as some of you may know, we like to create players and put them into that squad. I like to keep them relevant to the teams that we're using, or at least relevant to the city of the team that we're using. So please feel free to give suggestions for Celtic, for Manchester United, and for Montreal Impact. Lads, I hope you're excited for the upcoming content on this channel. Don't worry, it's not just going to be FC content as well. I do want to do some other stuff too, so please leave your suggestions for that as well. There is plenty to look forward to. I am very excited for these career modes. Hope you are too. That's like the 10 millionth time I've said it, but that just shows how bloody excited I am, and I can't wait to get going. So hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and I will talk to you all very, very soon. Take care.